Hey guys, it's BW. We're out in the garage. We're doing something a little different today. You guys can see where I welded the frame rails in on the Nova. We'll get back to this for those of you waiting. I'll make an update of that here this week. But today's rust repair day. We got a Ford Ranger here. It's my neighbor's. And I just started. You can see this is the only spot of rust he's got on the whole car, or truck I mean to say. And we're gonna get it out today for him. And right now I just started grinding before I realized I probably should make a quick video. So to show you guys what's going on. We're gonna try to find where the good metal is. That's where I'm fishing around with the grinder. And then we'll know where to cut out. He bought a panel piece for this, and we'll cut the patch out of that whenever we get to that point. I'll bring you in and show you. And he has one more little spot right here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to cut this out or if we could just grind all the rust out and then I could just weld repair it. We'll figure it out. We'll dig it out. I'll bring you guys back in. Two real bad spots. I'm trying to decide if I want to just cut it out all in one piece or if I want to just cut and see if we can just do these two sections. This is good, and I would hate to take out good metal, so I'm going to start with the smaller one and cut it out, and that'll give us a good indication of what it looks like behind here. And then we'll cut out the other one. And we got a patch, the panel right here that we got, so we could theoretically do the whole thing if we want, but we're not going to cut our patch or patches until we take this one off first and just fishing around to see what we got. Off the I would say the cleaner one, and we're really happy with what it looks like on the panel behind right here. There's a little bit of rust here, but I'm going to wire wheel at it. And but there's our first patch that we're going to mess with. You can see we went up into where the good metal is. So we drilled spot welds off the bottom. So all right, this is looking pretty good. Let me get this wire wheeled out, and then we're going to cut this bad boy off. I think this one's a little worse, but I feel like it's going to be close to what we're finding here. For a minute, this rust is going to go the whole way through. So we're going to do a patch on the inner structure real quick. So let me just zip this out, and then we'll make one up real quick and zap it in, sand it out, throw a little something on there, so weld through primer on it, and then we'll be ready for the exterior patch for the inner panel. You see we got it welded across there. I just started grinding before I realized I needed to give you guys a peek at what we did. You can see right here we have four little spots of porosity. I'll take those out. The wind got the argon, so I turned the gas up, and once I turned the gas up a little bit to overcome the wind, you guys see we did real well. So let me get this grinded out. I'll fix that, and then we're going to make the outer patch for this, and we'll put it on. We still have the bigger one to do yet, but we wanted to, let's get warmed up on this nice little guy. The bad section right here, a couple little snafus we want to look at. So this is, we're going to make the patch off of this, plus probably the width of a tape. And the reason why is, that's the luck right there. See that's that rubber piece that goes between the inner and outer structure, so it won't rub and make a noise and try to seal off and keep materials, road materials from getting up in here, and that's why they never rust up in here, is because you're sealed. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this rusted section off, and we're going to make a weld repair just like we did right here to the inner structure. And then we're, like I said, we're going to take another length of material off of here. Even though this is good, we don't want to weld right on top and melt this rubber seal. All right, let me get this cut out, and we'll make the patch, and then we'll get it tacked in, bring you back in and show you the deal. There's the first patch. It's in, come out pretty good. I mean, I have a little low spot there. I think it was high, and then I tapped at it. Now it's just a hair low, and I think that's going to be all right. So we cut and butt that one in pretty good. Now we got the smaller one that we started with earlier. We're gonna take and put this patch in. I'll get a few tacks in, and then I got to shape it right here. The panel that came, you know, you guys know the deal. Nothing's ever perfect. It's close though. These lines are pretty close. So I'll get this one welded in, and then we're going to pull this one out, and we're going to patch the hood on my brother's Suburban way over there. And then whenever I'm ready to start mixing the fiberglass and filler, we'll fiberglass and fill them both at the same time. All right, the patch is done on the Ranger. They came up really good. You know, it was a little harder than I thought because of these two body lines. There's a flare right here, and then there's this body line right here. I'm a little low right here, but we'll fix it up. The patch, you know, they come from Taiwan. They're not perfect, but we're really close. It's just a little low right there. Other than that, I got no complaints. All right, so now we got my brother's Suburban, and he's going to order a new hood, but we're just going to get it so he can get this thing inspected. We have a couple holes in the hole, you know, you look at this thing, you see all the rust. We already cut this one off right here, but you see it's all rusted out. This one ain't, I could probably push it through, but it's not through, so I think we're going to leave it alone for now. But it takes upwards of 6 months to get this hood new, so we're gonna fix this. He said don't even worry about this inner structure, so we're just gonna get this patch on there for now and be done with it, and then we'll do a little one right here as well. Hey, okay guys, it's the next day. You can see this is my neighbor's Ranger. It's rust free again. He had those 2 spots of rust on the driver's side. Right now we just mixed up some of this epoxy from Eastwood, the 2-part epoxy primer that you can roll on or brush on. It's really good stuff for guys that don't have air guns and spray guns and everything like that. Excuse me, I'm bouncing the camera around, but I like using it. I used it on that hood about a year ago, 2 years ago, and it holds up. It's very durable. It seals. You know, it's a 2-part epoxy. It's not paint, it's epoxy. We're trying to, you can see my neighbors running the heat gun. Well, you can give it a little rest there, Scott, let it dry. We're trying to help it dry. Oh. Maybe it could dry naturally, I don't know. But we're trying to let it dry as natural as we can. You can see how high up we came with the tape. We tried to stay as low as we could, but you know, I get carried away with that sander a little bit, and it's hard to control. I mean, so we're going to get this epoxy on there, and he was talking about maybe taking it, getting painted, but we decided, or he decided, it's his truck, that he's just going to go with the flares. You know, he's just happy this truck's rust free. You guys can see this wheel well is perfect. It's clean, and I can attest, when you look up underneath here, this guy really takes care of his stuff. So yeah, I was a little apprehensive helping him because his stuff's nicer than I treat stuff. But he let me do it anyway, so that's where we're at. So we're going to put a second coat of epoxy on this, and then after we get the second coat of epoxy on there, then hey, he's going to worry about painting it. Maybe he just puts a little something. He could put anything he wants over the epoxy because we know the epoxy's good. He could spray anything on there. He doesn't have to put anything on there. But then when he gets the flares, he's got to drill holes in here, and we talked about he's going to have to paint the holes so that we don't start a rust problem either. But he's been thinking about getting the flares for it anyway. It's a pretty truck. I mean, his other option is without flares, but then he's going to have to take it to a body shop, get somebody like my buddy Jimmy and Keith, because I'm not any good at that. We got the metal repair done, but the body work and getting it just right's on him. I just wanted to show you, I didn't even bother showing this too much. This is my brother's Suburban. You can see right here where it's rotted. If I was to push too hard on that, it would probably go through. So he didn't want to mess with that side. We cut and butt 2 pieces in, one here and one here. The body works, again, it's only decent because it's just, this is to hold him over because his inspections due. It's just to get him through inspection, and once he's through inspection, you know, he's looking at getting a new hood or a nice used hood. So he's going to try to call around tomorrow and see if we can get a hood. But you guys can see up in here, I hope you guys can see that. You see the weld here. We put a big patch here and a smaller one right here. And you can see he said don't even worry about it. I was going to try to do this inner structure and all that stuff, but it was just it's too far gone. So we just wanted to get them through inspection. The bodywork's not even perfect. You can actually see a little spot of daylight right there on that one I showed you on the front. So, you know, it's one of them things. It's closed off. It'll pass inspection. But, oh, I'm going to have to go reopen that and close it again. I didn't close it hard enough. This content was a little different than what I usually do, but when a buddy needs a hand, you give him one, and you basically have to when your big brother asks you. So we got the stuff done that we wanted to get done. You guys can see I got the frame rails back in the Nova. I ended up welding from the wheel tub back on top and on both sides. I already cleaned this side up. I have to clean the other side up. I haven't done that yet, but you see I cleaned this side up and weld through primered it. We'll do the same thing to that side. We're probably going to pick this up early next week and get back to it. But the reason why I ended up doing the frame rails on the top, well, I really wanted to do them on the bottom, but the reason I did them on the top, guys, is in between where the trunk goes down, right up there, not here, I could get in here really good, but up on the other side, on both sides. See how tight that is right there? I don't know if you, I hope you guys could see that. It's real tight right there, and I couldn't get the nozzle in the right spot to get a good weld. And I felt like I wanted this really strong and good welds, so I did them from the top. But from the wheel wells forward is all overhead welded. All right, and we'll get these cleaned up to where they look like this side. That's really no problem. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, consider giving me a thumbs up, a subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it sure does help me. All right, till next time, take care, everybody.